Sir, is my screen visible, sir?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Right. Shall I start?
Yeah.
Need more 3 minutes, right? That's what I'm
Yeah.
asking
Yeah.
you, sir.
Wait for
With your
1 2 minutes.
permission,
Hmm. Eh,
if you uh, tell, I'll start, sir. I'll wait more 2 to 3 minutes, right?
Uh, Wait for 2 minutes, sir. We will start by 6:30. Other members also may join.
No, okay, okay, right, sir. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Shall we start?
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Right, sir. Respected chair and my co-presentees, good evening, one and all. So I am Venunath. I'm research scholar from Pondicherry Central University under the guidance of Dr. P. Sujata Madam. She is associate professor from Computer Science Department, and my another co-author Prasad K. He is associate professor of Sharda Gangaradhan College, and D. Srinu is my another co-author. Is a research scholar from Annamalai University. So my research paper title is The Evaluation of Influence Maximization Studies, a psychometric analysis. Right. These are the contents I would like to present in this um, uh, event, that is introduction, motivation and problem identification definition, so diffusion models, methodologies of in influence maximization, then proposed method, under that we how do we collect data, and the result section, then conclusion and references. So these are the contents I would like to present here. So in the introduction part, so actually the my paper comes under this social network analysis. So here social networks have become an important and integral part of our daily life. We know how we are using social networks in our daily usage. So here the that platform provides us sharing ideas, opinions, and performing various online activities. Because of these increasing usage of social networks, this is an important topic in the recent area of time. So these social networks have been center point of numerous research problems. Also, in this area, there are several practical applications and different research directions, including influence maximization, information diffusion, viral marketing, recommender system, and so on. So these are main major research areas under the social network discipline, right? Then, in the social networks, generally we know the connect people globally. So in order to through internet and provide excellent opportunities for advertising and marketing ideas and products and business. We know with the help of the social network, so we can share ideas, products, and business. So in the social network, so daily, in the sense, regularly, it constantly changing platform to produce and consume massive amount of content. So in this regard, the actually the social network is represented in the form of a network. So network or graph. So here vertices and we know the basic difference between vertices and graph definition. But it's a combination of vertices and edges. So here vertices nothing but people or entities, and edges denote E denotes edges here, right? And here edges in the sense, so in the social network generally they may friendships between two persons, follow between two persons, and co-authorship between two articles. These are the edges between in that graph. Means overall, the graph in the social network, the graph is represented by vertices and edges. In this vertices contains people or entities, and edges are nothing but friendship and followee and co-authorship. This is the basic idea of social network represented in the form of graphs. Right. So actually, with the help of this social network, these are the benefits. So means accepted low cost marketing and business promotion tool. So it acts as a promotion or promoting tool. So in the aspect of business and low cost marketing and business point of view, we use this social network as a promotional tool and affordable marketing and promotional opportunities for businesses. So this social network we use like this. So here, this is a overview of so, social influence. So here my problem is influence maximization. Influence maximization is one of the widely studied research problem in the field of network science. So IM is a task of means in IM influence maximization is a task of identifying a constant number of seed users. Here seed users seed users, what the users do means, if a piece of information originates from them, means in the network there is a information, then the information that can reach the optimal maximum number of nodes in the system, means the seed users can propagate that information to the maximum number of nodes in the system. So here influence maximization is nothing but the we are selecting those seed users in the network. So here say the number 12 is a user, so is connected to almost all the network, means everyone in the network he connected, right? So if he becomes a seed user, then he can propagate that information to all other users. So here influence maximization nothing but selecting such users from the network is nothing but influence maximization. So here the motivation, so motivation of my work is IM is a kind of optimization problem. So in the 2003, that Kemp et al. Means a group of researchers in 2003 provided that getting an optimal solution in is in a NP hard, means this is a optimization problem. So it is a NP hard, So under conventional information diffusion models, means mathematically these are definition for influence maximization. So here seed nodes, this is the definition of influence maximization. Here seed nodes nothing but nodes in acts as a source information diffusion, means they act as information propagation nodes. So with the help of diffusion model only, they can propagate the information in the network. So with the help of these seed nodes and diffusion models, we can propagate the data from one node to another node, or one user to another node. This is a motivation. So influence maximization. So actually the influence maximization is adapted from viral marketing concept, and is a popular application for IM. So it works with the help of word of mouth rule. Okay, so so here viral marketing is based on social
Hello,
relationship.
sir.
Sir, please.
You have 2 more minutes, sir. Please complete fast.
So
Only 10 minutes for explanation, sir. Not more than that.
right, sir. Right, sir. So here. My work, so here my work is how what I am doing here. So this study conducts a cytometric analysis. This cytometric analysis may better visualization purpose and qualitative data extraction, and leading to a more in-depth understanding of study. This study generally we gather the data from Scopus database. So from that we export your generally that extracted data is in the form of CSV formats. So the main aim of my research is used to extract the patterns, clusters, and interconnection of various networks. So here the I used in order to extract the data, I used influence and maximization. These are the keywords. With the help of that keywords, I extracted the data. So I executed the data and extracted data from January 2009 to 23. Means in between, means most of the data I executed that I extracted the data in November 2022. So between 2009 to 23, I focused. Actually, that data is collected from before that only. So I worked on, I analyzed my research work on around 1026 publications. So these publications so we can see, so that time is from 95 to 2002. The countries are included 83, publication count is 26, number of organizations 70. Like that we gathered data from Scopus database. We used to analysis. We used VOS viewer. That VOS user gives the data in the form of CSV files. So that results. So here, what I extracted from the data is, so out of 1026 works from 2005 to 22. So by the 1782 authors from 1741 organizations from 83 different countries, means that data gives this information. Also that publication data like conference papers 49%, and articles 48% something, 0.5% review papers, and book chapters are 1.6 papers. So this is a co-authorship analysis. In this co-authorship analysis, just we analyzed how the interrelation between different authors. So here these are the different representation of diagrams. So in overlay visualization and density visualization. So in this visualization, we can extract the complete information of 151 authors and link strength also. So citation analysis, in this citation analysis, most of the research done from China, the country China, and Microsoft Research Institution China, and
Go to
Texas
conclusion,
University.
sir. Go
Okay,
to
sir.
fast. Next slides.
Uh, so
Yeah.
these are last slides, sir.
Yeah.
So from that data, we conclude that the top 10 most cited entities, means here P represents a number of institutions over here. So most of the countries from China and USA, they are ERP represents a number of countries, and Italians and Singapore. So here the organization. So most of the organizations are from educational institutions and research institutions. Just I conducted research on top 10 countries. Out of top 10 countries, just eight, I found that 8 countries are from educational institutions and 2 are research institutions. So most of the so finding shows that the academic community, particularly Chinese educational institutions, has played a crucial role in shaping the evaluation and influence maximization. So these are overview of my work. So I have taken 20 years of data from the Scopus database and different influence maximization methods, and I explained. So most studies must be conducted in developing countries experiencing the most significant difficulties in this area. So these are the references when I do my review. So thank you very much, sir, giving this opportunity. So if you have any queries, please raise, sir.
Okay. So you collected some data set. Is this data set is collected by someone or any related work done by existing people?
Uh, yes, sir. Actually, I collected data in the November 2022, sir. So anyone can extract the data from the Scoopus data, but this is a open source, sir. Anyone can extract the data at any time. So that depends upon the papers. The data may exist in that database, sir.
So you collected data, you present the results. How it is genuine? Yeah.
Yeah, sir. So from that Scoopus database only, I collected that data, sir.
Okay. If the data set is collected by someone or it is standard data set, if you worked on that, it may be unacceptable if you show some results.
Okay.
You told that data set is collected by you and method is implemented on that, and you
Yes.
showed some results here.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
The
okay.
data, but the results may change, yeah, sir. Till now, up to November 2022, I collected these many records from that Scopus database. Now, if anyone collects the same on same topic on this day, so that data may vary. The authors may vary, that organizations may vary, that countries may vary. Why? Because depends upon research work, sir.
Okay. How you are evaluating your work?
So evaluation in the sense from that data set, that CSV file only. So with the help of VOS user, VOS tool, VAS tool, VAS viewer. That's nothing but that's a tool. With the help of that tool, I evaluated this work, sir.
Okay, okay, Venunath. Sunil sir, any queries, sir? Yeah. Okay, Venunath, thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you can close your session.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So, yeah,
Thank
okay,
you very much
okay.
to give this opportunity, sir. Thank you very much.
Other participants, please complete your lecture by 10 minutes only, 5 minutes per queries. You don't take much time.
Yeah, please make sure you complete in 10 minutes and please keep your, I mean, the other participant need to keep their mic in mute when the participant is presenting. Thank you.
Second, Neeraja madam.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, start your presentation, madam.
Sir, the screen is visible to you. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Screen is visible to you, sir.
Yeah, visible, madam. Continue.
Myself, Dr. R. Neeraja, lecturer in chemistry from Government College for Women, Srikakulam, and I am completed my PhD under the guidance of Dr. G. Hemanth Madam, Associate Professor, Department of Engineering Chemistry from Andhra University, and another co-author, Dr. M. Ramnaya Garu, he is working as Associate Professor in Government Aditya Institute of Technology and Management, Technically. Now, my actual topic is computer-assisted potentiometric analysis of L-Methionine, protonation equilibria in three medias like anionic, cationic, and neutral micellar water system. Coming to the experimental. So the experimental part here, the experimental procedure consists of three parts. The first one is experimental part, and the second one is the processing of data and modeling strategy, and the third one is actual what are the computer softwares used. And here the experimental part consists of here our actual aim is to determine the protonation of equilibria of L-Methionine, which is a ligand. In this work, we have calculated the protonation constants and how the protonation constants affect under the influence of surfactant, and we will draw those distribution diagrams also. Now coming to the actual, we are selecting the ligand L-Methionine. Here, this is the structure of L-Methionine. Here, L-Methionine acts as a bidentate ligand, and it results always it coordinating in 5-membered ring structures. And in case of MET has three functional groups, out of which two are get protonated, namely amino group followed by carboxylic group. Here in this amino group, the nitrogen donor atom can associate with the hydrogen ions in physiological pH ranges, and there is no often significant competition between hydrogen or metal ion free donor sites. And coming to the next one here, those are the structures, and our actual aim is topic is chemical speciation, which is nothing but a specific form of an element defined as to isotopic composition, electronic or oxidation state, or complex or molecular structure. And what actual role of the significant proposed study is the role played by the active site cavities in biological molecules, and we have to identify the ligands existed form in different pH ranges, and we have to determine the protonation, deprotonation equilibria in the actual system, and we have to uh, influences the both the toxicity and bioavailability of an element. Coming to the experimental procedure, in all those in a in the experimental part, we are always used for preparing the solutions with triply distilled deionized water, and these are the actual solutions we are used in the experiment. And the determination of the stability constant. What is the protonation constant you have to determine? It consists of two parts. One is experimental part. The second one is calculation part. In the experimental part, actually we are normally used pH-metry or potentiometry or spectrophotometry or polarography. These are the actual instruments available. But here we are using pH-metry because it is cost economy and very simple technique, and it is very accurate also. And here we are using the titrations. Actually, we are doing two types of titrations. Firstly, we have to measure the correction factor. Then, in this procedure, mineral acid acts as a titrant and alkali used as a titrant. And for the determination of a protonation constant, we have to use the mineral acid plus ligand as a titrant and the alkali as the titrant. So, in case of here using for the determination of protonation constants, non-linear least squares method is the actual method we are using. These are the available software programs, that is MiniQuad, MiniQuad 75, SuperQuad, HyperQuad, DELSUP, and S.No. But in our work, we are using MiniQuad 75. And this is the glass combination electrode. Here we are using the protonation constants. This is a glass combination pH electrode. And the next one is, this is the actual protonation deprotonation equilibria of methionine. Here clearly we can see the methionine structure, which is normally at under acidic media it existed in H2 form. In whenever we are adding alkali, it will lose its proton and acts as a deuterion. Then we add some more alkali, then it becomes in the form of L- within the pH range of 8 to 10. These are the actual distribution diagrams of L-Methionine, and we are using by using MiniQuad 75. Here in the experimental procedure, we have used three surfactants, namely SLS, that acts as a actually SLS acts as an anionic surfactant, CTAB acts as a cationic surfactant, and Triton X100 acts as a neutral surfactant. These are the statistical data obtained from our experiments. And then we are also plot a graph between a dissociation constant and the mole fraction. These are the graphs obtained. Uh, Coming to the, so here we are observed that when the mole fraction of the surfactant increases, the protonation constants also almost increases. So that means they follow. Here, in case of Micellar, electrostatic forces are more active when compared to non-electrostatic forces. These are the observations obtained from the actual these three graphs. So coming to the conclusions. So here conclusion. So the investigation of protonation equilibria of methionine in not only TX100 water, in all three media we are studied. And methionine always existed in three forms. In acidic at low pH it is LH2 plus, and at high pH when we are adding alkali it is obtained as LH and L minus excessively with increasing the pH. And there is the secondary formation functions, that is alkali per ligand, number of moles of protonation bound per ligand is also obtained. So then we can calculate the protonation equilibrium. Actually, the protonation for methionine we observed two protonation constants pK1 and pK2, and here there is one associable and one dissociable proton is also observed. Finally, the protonation constants are almost varied linearly with mole fraction of the Triton standard water. Not only in that one, in all three medias, it will be like that. So here the conclusion is that the dominance of electrostatic forces are more when compared to non-electrostatic forces in case of three media. Thank you for giving this opportunity. Hello, sir.
Oh, hello, madam. Yeah.
Sir,
Where it is used, madam?
sir, this is a statistical data. So by using this data, we can measure the stability constant, sir. For preparing a drugs, we are using this data, sir. And
Okay.
how much time the ligand may be stable, and what type of species is formed under different pH ranges, physiological conditions.
Okay.
So
How the results came, madam, for this? You presented some results, na? How those results came?
sir, we are taking the data from we are doing the titrations, and from that data we are running a software miniquad 75. From that statistical, then they will give the statistical data, sir, from that
Okay.
software.
Okay. Input is this one only. In which language? It's automatically predefined software, madam.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir.
The software is available. Your input is available. What is your contribution, madam? Here.
What, sir?
Your contribution is what here?
The software is no okay, but we are number of times we are titrating these because L-Methionine in aqua media is not a known one, sir. It is already the data is available, but we are studied here in some media, sir. That is anionic media, cationic media, and neutral media. That is means Micellar. So it will form Micellar. They are in our body also. So much enough proteins and amino acids are there. So it is very much similar to our biological system, sir. So these data is by using this data, they can prepare in drugs. Is it available? Is it formed or not? What is its stability? Can be guessed, sir. That is the actual role.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Sunil sir, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Ma'am, actually, there are few existing systems that I can see. How your system is different from them, ma'am?
What, sir?
Anything in terms of accuracy in that?
I didn't get, sir.
There are
Pardon, sir.
few existing systems are similar
Sir.
to this application. So, in what ways yours is different from them?
It is not a different one, but our selected ligand is a different one, and the media is a different one, sir. So today onward, the data is not available, but this is the first time we are choosing. We are done
Okay,
that,
okay,
sir.
okay, fine. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir,
Okay,
we
next.
shall move to the next one.
Yeah, next batch. Hemanth Kumar sir, are you ready?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I myself ready.
Yeah, yes, sir. Continue.
Okay. Sir, is my presentation is visible, sir?
Yeah, visible, sir. Continue.
Yeah. Good evening, all the respected session chairs and my fellow session delivering people, and myself, Hemanth Kumar, and today I'm here to give my paper presentation in the conference ICDSAI 2023. And the paper ID is 205, and the title of the paper is DR-HIPI, that is Performance Evaluation of Retinal Images for DR lesion segmentation using the HIPI architecture, that is Hadoop Image Processing Interface. And the authors are Hemanth Kumar, working as an assistant professor in RIT and a research scholar in NIT Silchar, and Dr. K. Suganya ma'am, assistant professor NIT Silchar, Dr. Om Prakash, assistant professor Raghu Institute of Technology, and Manikanta, Assistant Professor, Raghu Institute of Technology. And my outline of the presentation is it starts with the introduction and then the related work and the methodology, and which includes DR-HIPI framework and the experimental results, experimental setup and results, and I'm ending with the conclusion followed with the references. And coming to the introduction part, so diabetes is a disease which will be occurring when the sugar levels in the body are extremely high, and inconsistent sugar levels in the body can cause a problem known as diabetic retinopathy. And it is one of the most chronic disease which will be seen in the moderately aged people. And the main one of the main reasons for occurrence of this disease is because of identifying various abnormalities, let it be microaneurysms, hemorrhages, exudates, both hard and soft exudates, and neovascularization. And the following is a table which classifies the abnormalities. If you observe here, we have the category that is non-proliferative and the proliferative diabetic retinopathy. We say that as NPDR and PDR. And for non-proliferative diabetic retinopathy, we have certain disorders, I mean to say the abnormalities, where microvascular dysfunction and basement membrane dysfunction and nerve fiber infracts. And because of these things, we have the microaneurysms, hard exudates, internal retinal hemorrhages, and cotton wool spots or soft exudates. And coming to the proliferative diabetic retinopathy, we have neovascularization, which is the most advanced part, where we say that as a PDR. And the possible cause for each and every abnormality is also mentioned here. That is loss of parasites and the damaged endothelium will be results the microaneurysms, and leakage of lipids and proteins will result hard exudates. In the same way, for hemorrhages, that is rupturing of the blood vessels, and for cotton wool spots, that is nerve fiber damage. And the production of new fragile blood vessels leads to neovascularization. And for macular edema, retinal capillaries will cause the leakage of fluid. Where the third one will be, we cannot assess in prior, where it may, there is a possibility where we may have PDR, the patients may have PDR directly. Instead of starting with NPDR, it may have PDR. So this is what the table which will be giving the disorder, the abnormalities, and the possible cause for the abnormality. And coming to this usage of a screening system, where screening systems are really required to assess the severity of the patient, and it will reduce some time and cost and effort as well. Instead of having a manual findings with the ophthalmologist, the screening systems will assist the ophthalmologist, and we cannot say like it will replace the ophthalmologist, but they will assist the ophthalmologist where we can diagnose the disease in an effective way within less time and with less effort. And the computer vision and the necessary machine vision analysis with high-end computations have picked up the prominence in all fields of clinical pictures. So we have extended that to our particular field, that is ophthalmology, and we have worked on diabetic retinopathy. And the following is a table that gives some of the reviews related to the screening systems, where the possible data set that is used with respect to this DR and the number of images and the possible abnormalities that are detected and the accuracy that are attained. So these are the screening systems where they completely focused on ML models and DL models. For example, if we consider the first one where they focused on exudates, identifying the exudate regions with Mesidor dataset and EOPTHA dataset with 1307 images. And the accuracy they attained is 93.46. In the same way, the next one, Kaggle dataset with 11,200 instances, where they have tabulated both the accuracies. And similarly, the other references as well with all the possible grading and the accuracies for and that some of the authors have also given area under curve instead of giving with the accuracies, and some others were specified the sensitivity and specificity metrics. So this I can say this is a related work which has focused on mostly on using the machine learning models and deep learning models. And uh, uh, upon doing this survey, where we have thought like instead of going with a DL model or a ML model, if we go with the data analytics, let it be like if we implement the same scenarios in Hadoop, where by using MapReduce framework, like how the things will be, and how we can extract the abnormality. So that is our motivation, and we proceeded further based on that. And when we started doing the work on big data architectures, we have gone across the many image modalities that support diabetic retinopathy, and we have identified like some of the widely used image modalities are CFPs, that is color fundus photographs, which is widely used, and fluorescent angiography, that is FVA, and OCT, that is optical coherence tomography. So taking these three image modalities, we just have an idea like how do we, if we process these images to the big data architecture, how they were performing, and what are the comparative studies that we have. We will be giving that in the next slides. And this is the figure, just taking an instance of each and every image. For example, if we consider here, we have three images. First one is a fundus image, that is color fundus photograph. Then second one is a fluorescent image, and third one is an OCT, that is optical coherence tomography. So in each image we observe, we have the abnormalities as common. For example, we have OD, that is optic disc, which is really essential, where we need to localize it and where we need to detect it. In the same way, blood vessels are really required, where based on the blood vessel segmentation only, we can identify the abnormalities. Even if we see the second part, that is B and C as well, we have the same labeling as well. So once we make these things as common, then we can, it is possible to pass that to the architecture. So these are some of the instances that what we have taken. And coming to the literature with respect to this various image modalities, where Ronald et.al. has went with the CFPs as a data set, and he
Sir, you have less time, sir. Go to directly your proposed method. Please,
Yes, sir,
let's concentrate on existing works and introductions things.
yes, sir, sure.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So these are the related work that is happened on CFPs and OCTs as well as FA. And based on the literature, we have gone through the architecture. So this is our methodology, where we have taken the standard big data architecture, where we will, but the possible MapReduce framework, that whatever we have, the existing MapReduce framework, a lot of work has been done with respect to the text data. But this is HIPA architecture is one thing where we can process the images as well. So there is a slight variation in terms of the architecture when compared with the text data to the image data. The first one is, if I assume like here we have an image bundle, just like how the corpus of text we collect, in the same way we load the images here. And cull is the next phase that will be there, where based on the specific set of rules that we have, based on those set of rules, we'll process that to the cull phase. And we'll go to the map phase, where we will be having all the images will be splitted. For example, if we consider like there are 50 images, where all the 50 images will be divided into various map phases. And in the map phases, the particular methodology will be implemented, and it goes to the supply and short functionality. And from there, it goes to the reduce phase, and then it reaches to the output. So in the map phase and in the reduce phase, what we will be discussing based on the algorithm. But before that, this is what the architecture we have. Whatever the images we have, that will be processed through the cull, and then to the map phase, to the shuffle and sort functionality, and to the reduce phase, and finally to the output. And one important thing here we need to specify with respect to the map and reduce is like why we have chosen this Hadoop architecture is just because of map reduce only, where map and reduce will be performing in parallel, which will reduce the overall time execution, because as they will execute in parallel. So the following were the algorithms that were used for map and reduce functions. First one, if we observe map phase, where whatever the images we have, we will read it from the HDFS, that is Hadoop distributed file system, and whatever the image we bring, we'll split that into small tiles of fixed size. Let us assume like we can let it be a 3x3 grid or a 5x5 grid or a 7x7 grid, but we have taken that as a 3x3 grid. And once fixing up of the tiles, we calculate the sum of pixels of each color, because we will be having red color, green color, and blue colors whenever we are going with an RGB image. If we have a grayscale image, we will be converting that into RGB, and then we will be calculating the sum of pixels. Once the sum of pixels has been identified at each and every grid, the tile coordinates and the corresponding sum of pixel values will be passed to the shuffle and sort functionality. And in the shuffle and sort functionality, whatever the sum of pixel values that have been identified with respect to each tile will be sorted out, and they will be sent to the reducer phase. And in the reducer phase,
only 1 minute time, sir. Close.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So after the reducer phase, we will compute the average pixel values. So why we are computing the average pixel values is like we have a lot of advantages. The first advantage is like we can normalize the image, and then we can subtract the actual region of interest from the background, and we can improve the models with more robustness and accuracy. And coming to the experimental setup, we have executed that in the Hadoop framework with all the specifications. And the data set we have taken for CFP are 50 images, and from this resource, and FA of 30 images, and OCT of 50 images. And the execution model with the name node with the port 8020, HTTP port 50070, in the same way SNN, data node, job tracker, and task tracker have been allotted whenever we're executing the model on the Hadoop environment. And after computing the pixel intensity values, where we have identified like CFP will perform better in terms of segmentation with respect to the abnormalities, whatever we say, the microaneurysms, hard exudates or soft exudates or neovascularization, CFPs will be giving better region of interest when compared with the fluorescent angiography and OCT. The reason behind this is like we have computed the average pixel intensity values, which will be helpful for identifying the better ROI. So that is the conclusion we have made, and we have drawn the graph as such. And I have tabulated all the existing literature I have taken and the proposed DR-HIPI, and none of them were implemented any big data architecture, where I have come up with the same image modalities with the big data architecture, and we have drawn the results. And these are the conclusions I have. And finally, I can conclude like CFPs is giving me better results when compared with the FA and OCT. And these are the possible differences I have. Thank you.
Okay, sir. So why other researchers not used big data technology in this? Any
Sir, the possible reason is like as this is a medical field, and in terms of ophthalmology, lot of work has been done on in the fields of machine learning and deep learning, sir. So, and the possible reason is like it supports the text data. The so-called Hadoop, Hadoop architecture will support the text data, but there is one architecture HIPI where I made an extension like why if we try to work it on images, why not? In terms of that, we have identified a HIPI architecture. We have gone through the paper, and then we have implemented as such.
So you did not use any ML and DL methods?
No, sir. No, sir.
Only with big data technologies only you are predicting, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A pre-processing is done where we have used a median filter to remove the salt and pepper noise.
Okay. Generally, big data technology for processing huge amount of data. With that also, can we predict like this, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can identify the abnormalities. We can identify the abnormality, the so-called abnormality.
Okay. What is the data set size? How many? What is the content in
that? As I have made through a pseudonode configuration, so instead of maintaining that on a cluster, I have performed the execution results on a single node. So I have taken 50 images of CFP, 50 images of OCT, and 30 images of FA, sir.
Very less in
the
size, na? What is
yes,
the
sir.
need
Yes.
of going for big data?
Yes, sir. We can implement that, but the problem, as far as my execution is considered, I have performed on a pseudonode configuration, sir, on a single system. If we implement that across the cluster with connecting 10 or 15 systems, where we can increase the data set, but preferably we will get the. I strongly believe like we can attain the our requirements, sir. If we increase the size also, that's not a deal.
What is the accuracy, sir?
Sir, the accuracy, if we, it is almost standing around 90, sir, where we have
No,
identified.
actually, the earlier systems have around 93, 97%.
Yes, sir.
So, is it improving on that?
Sir, like our intention is for this work, whatever the conference I am presenting, my intention is uh, to suggest like which image modality is useful for future extraction. I mean to say for detecting the abnormalities, and on top of that, if we are able to run through a machine, then we can identify the accuracy, sir.
Okay. Yeah, fine,
Identifying the
sir.
better image modality is our requirement, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Next, 245 paper ID. Sushila, madam, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Connect, madam.
Good evening, sir. Hello.
Good evening, madam. It's not
Is it been audible, sir? Visible, sir?
it's not visible correctly. Okay.
In the presentation mode, madam.
Pardon, sir?
It's not visible, madam.
Make it in the presentation mode, madam. It is not clear.
Sir, is it not visible?
Are you opening in your mobile?
Yes, sir.
It's not visible, madam. Okay. Try for laptop or system,
Sir,
madam.
there is a power cut there in the place, so I try to connect in the mobile.
Sunil sir, is it visible?
No, sir. The size is very small. Actually, multiple
Very
pages are
small.
being shown. Probably, if you can show only one page after other, if you go to see, I mean, slideshow mode, then it might be visible, madam. We could see 3 pages at a time, so that might be the reason why it's so small.
Okay.
Now it is fine, madam.
A little bit okay. Okay, madam, proceed.
There is a power cut. I'm not able to get my laptop working because Wi-Fi, and this is not getting connected to. So, can I continue, sir, with this?
Yeah, continue, madam.
Good evening to all. I'm Sushila Midde, presently doing my research in Kalinga University under the guidance of Dr. G.V.V. Jagannatha Rao. And my topic for today's session is adaptability of robotic process automation and compatibilities of human automation. This the topic actually my topic for my research is application of mathematics in modeling and utilization of robotics in times of pandemic like COVID-19. The part of as part of this, I have prepared this paper, sir, and I'm presenting now. Coming to the point, every robotic system is designed, constructed, and programmed to do a certain job. To control the system of robots, allow the robot parts to move and work. They make sure that it is programmed in a series of actions, including the applications of process, force is carried out. Even if a part of the robot fails, however, in such systems, human beings often take the role of controlling, monitoring, and supervising. So now the rapid advances in robotics and automation are making cities throughout the globe into the experimental hubs, where these technologies may be tried out in a varieties of contexts. This robotic process automation or RPA may improve customer service and guaranteed human resource procedures are followed to the letter of the law. So this robotic process automation is actually a software. It is a software technology that controls software robots to mimic human behavior on digital platforms. So in this, I would like to discuss about, it's a relative study, how this human beings and robots, they work together, but at the same times, it's a comparative study that robots seems to be working better than human beings. And this is actually the credit of human beings, but the controlling system is in the hands of humans. So to introduce with in the recent advancements, the projections for future shows the use of robotic system effectively. There are two types of loops in a control system, open and closed. The term smart manufacturing describes the widespread use of robotic technology in the manufacturing sector. The machine tool sector was one of the first adopters of robotics. In those days, robotics typically used as a stiff hand mechanism with individual joints controlled by a single input and single output linear system. But in these days, in addition to these, there was a continuous path tracking system for operations like widely used like spraying, painting, point-to-point control system. And these are actually the best utilities of human beings, we can say. Now, coming to the collective robot learning, I am trying to explain this through a collection of data from several physical trials and surroundings. The cloud enables the exchange of data for robot learning. Initial and target states controls the rules and paths, and most critically, data on performance and results may all be shared between robots and automation systems. So here the block diagram is given. It's a schematic architecture of the path planning framework. That means when we give some queries or something to a robot to work, we need to give the input properly, and even repair or whatever it may be to retrieve the data, and it will be given, it will be done by the robot itself. So here I have also taken one of the things that they use open and open source and open access system. This in this diagram, it is clearly explained, or simply just for our understanding. Robotic automation, the art to work this. First of all, we need to have a task. We need to plan a task and assign the tasks to the robot, whatever tasks it should be done, and it should be given for the time for the execution. And we also give the assistant, which means it can be a human being or a machine, whatever it may be. And then the robot begins to work. It's automatically. it does its working. So this robot operating system, it's a popular example where it has been used widely in many areas. So now coming to the methodology. Prior to the integrating robotic process automation, the phase includes an analysis, designing method to be established, all that we have to pre-plan, then only it begins to work. And then I have also given the experimental analysis. For that, the system requirements I have just put down here. In the tables, whatever the system needs for the requirements for the process. And then we have the components and the constitute this robotic process automation. And the example that I have taken is how a robot can comparatively do a work with the human beings. And the time, precision, and reliability measures I have taken. And the first graph shows that login results between a human and robots. And it is mostly because it is a starting of the system. The robot and the human beings have done correctly to the point. And when it comes to the different times and accuracy and consistency, here in the diagram which I have shown is only taking the time. Here I have given the tabular form. So when it comes to that time, human beings have taken a lot of time, whereas the robots have taken very less time. Even the accuracy also. Robots have done 100% with accuracy, and consistency also almost the same, but whereas the human beings have the decreased number in their accuracy. Also time taking also, human beings have taken a lot of time than the robot. So comparative evaluation, this is signing out, signing in and signing out. They are more or less human and robot have done the same. But whereas other factors, the robots have done better than human beings. So to conclude with, the fundamentals robotic automation system, robotic control system and various robotic control architectures are provided in this research which I have taken. This robotic automation system technologies enable more efficient decision making and acting, which improves efficiency and has a knock-on effects for infrastructure, healthcare, and everyday life. Robots also have the advantages in terms of speed, dependability, and precision. Many considerations must be made before embarking on a project that can be completed effectively. In this present paper, I have analyzed adaptability of robotic process automation and how the capabilities of human automation with the help of the graphs. So these are the reference books. Thank you, sir.
Okay, madam, you specified some results, the time, accuracy, consistency. How you calculated all this?
Sir, actually I have been collecting different data from one of my companions working in Italy. He's working there in the hospital.
Okay.
For my topic, I have collected, and this is one of those data, sir. For my thesis, I am doing.
How you calculated accuracy? What is the formula?
How I have calculated the accuracy. The data was given to me, collected by my friend. She sent to me. Then I have prepared the graph for that, sir.
Oh, human wise, robot wise, what input, what conditions you gave? Like,
actually, she has been working in the hospital where they are taking help of the robots.
Okay.
My topic was on that, sir. My doctoral thesis is how these robots are used in the times of pandemic and in the present situations. So in that one of the data collection I have taken. It's not full data,
So what is
not
the
only
task
this
given to
data,
the
other data. Pardon, sir?
what are the tasks given to the robots and the human, madam, to calculate the reading?
They are also working like how we are working as a receptionist, one thing. The work assigned to them
No, I'm
also one
asking
of
that what is
the
the task? What are the
mine is
tasks, madam?
sir.
Pardon? On which task you are taking the readings, madam, from the computer and the human?
When they receive the data, they enter the data into the system. That means, for example, when the patients come in, like any receptionist, they to do the entry of the data.
Okay,
If
okay, madam.
yes.
Okay, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, paper ID 193. Paper ID 193. Brahmaji. Paper ID 194.
Present.
Yeah, are you ready, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, present, madam.
Okay. Yes, good evening, everyone. Thank you for letting me to present this conference today. My ID is paper ID 194, and my topics today is proposed framework for doctor appointment using chatbot in Tanzania. And I am presented, my name is Michelle Chatumba, who will be presented here today. These are the contents of my PPT, which is we're going to have abstract, introduction, related works, methodology, system design, results, conclusion, and references. In an abstract, more than half of the people living in Konga have had time of getting a modern healthcare facilities. So in Tanzania, maternal and child mortality is very high and mostly caused by shortage of trained health professionals, high cost health care, and in a few or socialized area, it is quite hard to find consultations with a doctor that is easily regarding health issues. So a healthcare chatbot utilizing NLP and AI is proposed to address the high maternal and child mortality rates in Tanzania or Konga. Caused by lack of qualified medical professionals and high cost, the proposed chatbot can provide users with accurate health information, understanding symptoms, and schedule appointments for specialists, potentially improving health and decreasing mortality rates in Tanzania. So let's first see what is mortality and infant mortality. Maternal and infant mortality. So maternal mortality is the death of women during pregnancy, delivery, or about 42 days following delivery, which is that every 1,000 births, approximately 5 to 6 women die due to pregnancy-related complication. So the rate is higher than the global average of 211 maternal deaths over 1,100 deaths. And in infant mortality is also a significant problem in Tanzania, which means every 1,000 babies born approximately die before their first birthday. So in recent years, there has been increase of mobile technology. So the application has been used to The application has been used to develop the provide pregnant women and new mothers with information and maternal and child health, including information, proper nutrition, vaccination, and schedules, and warning signs and potential health problems. So, another new method technology is being used to address maternal and infant mortality in Tanzania. Its use of chatbots. So, chatbots are computer program that use artificial intelligence to simulate conversation with the human users. It can be developed to provide women and new mom with health information and support, and it can also be particularly useful in Tanzania, where access to healthcare is often limited and where many women lives in rural areas far from health facilities. The related works are as follows. So the study found that is limited availability of qualified medical services provides in Tanzania lead women to seek maternal health information from traditional birth attendants and other women, results in lack of expert knowledge and difficulty in recognizing risk signs. So the focus of maternal health information in Tanzania has mainly been in rural women. So the study found that most women preferred get information about maternal health care from qualified medical services providers. However, the limited availability of these providers led to many women to seek info from traditional birth attendants and women in societies. So also, several SMS-based smartphone apps has been developed in Africa. So like several programs including SMS-based and smartphone apps to provide pregnant women information on maternal and child health. Other than like, so the example, there is application like Jumbo Mama and Wired Mothers offer interactive smartphone and voucher-based solution to improve maternal health outcomes. And also, maternal and neonatal mortality rates continue to be challenges in global levels. So various approaches has been used to address issues, and ACT has been identified as an effective tool to reduce maternal and neonatal mortality rates. So ICT has been identified as the effective tool in reducing maternal and infant mortality rates. Many studies have shown that potential of ICT in delivery quality healthcare services. So several projects have shown the potential of ICT in delivery quality healthcare services. And also there's a research focuses on design and development an interactive chatbot called AfiaBot, which supports education on non-communicable disease NCDs in Swahili language. So the chatbot was tested for efficiency and accuracy and accessible through mobile and online interfaces. So that chatbot was tested for accuracy and efficiency by integrating it with Facebook Messenger and implemented using PHP programming language and Dialogflow for NLP. And it provides real-time info on NCDs and educates users on preventive control and treatment measurements. So the methodology is, our proposed method of the methodology is creating a chatbot that enables users interact with qualified gynecologists and can be crucial in lowering maternal and infant mortality rates. So the proposed work involves using RASA. So what is RASA? RASA is a machine learning conversational AI, which is used to build a chatbot, the open source framework to develop chatbot. It helps to build and write custom NLP of chatbots. And the key components of these RASA frameworks are intent, entity, stories, rules, domain, and action. Whereby the intent, it's the user categorized based on intents. Entity serve as structured information piece inside intent sent as response. Stories and rules represent the conversation sequence between user and bot. Domain, it defines all the factors of Rasa uses to operate the bot. And action, it comes as under costume action used primarily for making API calls and adding tricks and chat flow. So this is our system design. We have system architecture and the flow chart. So our system design here, as we can see, we have user, NLU, which is natural language understanding, dialogue and action execution, information retrieval, and others. So as we can see, it starts with the user, whereby the user interacts with the chatbot. Then the request goes to the NLU engine. It's the key component which allows to understand the interpret user's input, and which in this key component, it has intent classifier and entity extractors, whereby the intent classifier identify the interaction, intention, or purpose behind the user message. Then the entity extractor, it identifies specific piece of information or entities within users' messages. And after that, it goes to dialogue management. The dialogue management manages the flow of conversation between the user and the bot. Then after that, it goes to action, execution, and information retrieval, where the chatbots, it provide accurate, timely, and accurate response to user queries. And knowledge base and websites, it's when knowledge base integrated with the chatbot system, and chatbot may utilize the knowledge base as source of reliable information to respond to user queries. Then there's response generation, which it's
Madam, yeah, close by next 1 minute. You take too much time. Huh?
Then this is our results. This is our bot, which is Cairo bot. As you can see, it's a conventional agent designed to lower the maternal and infant mortalities, and it uses Rasa, natural language processing, Python for action, custom action, and HTML to integrate it in the website. And the conclusion is the development of doctor appointment chatbot of maternal child mortality. It can could a significant increase healthcare access and reduce death rates in the area by government. If the government invests in the chatbot, then it will help as people in Tanzania, most women, to decrease the rate of mortality rate. And as the AI technology developed, chatbots are projected to become more important in healthcare sectors and communication. And yeah, thank you. And this is the reference. Thank you very much.
Okay, madam, what is the outcome of this one? Already we know, but did you present any results or anything on your paper?
Yes, this is my results. Like this, the Cairo bot, it's my results.
Okay, here it is. It shows what whether the doctor appointment is finalized or not, whether that information is displayed here.
Pardon?
Whether doctor appointment is confirmed or not, like that, can you show any result like that?
Yes, like here it shows I've oh, I'm sorry, I did not put that part, but it showed the doctor confirmed. Yes.
Yeah, actually, we're expecting whether the doctor appointment is finalized or not. We need such statistical information is required, na? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay, that was missing, yeah.
Oh yes, yes, I understand that. I will definitely put it.
Okay.
Yes.
Sinva sir? Yeah.
Yeah. And have you used any ICT tools with your robotic now?
Pardon?
Hello? ICT tool you used in here in this project?
I can, you're not audible, sir.
Have you used any
Sir, I cannot
ICT
get
tool?
you. Sorry.
Have you used any ICD tool? ICD tool.
No, sir.
Okay,
I
if I
just
given
use
the symptoms, it is not.
the
Yeah.
NLP, machine learning models, Python, and
You use the NLP, right?
yes.
You use the NLP. Hello.
Hello.
Why is it audible?
Yes, sir. I can get you.
The chatbot, if I given my symptoms, which is not related
Yes,
to
now you're
your
audible, sir.
hello. Hello.
My chatbot it only yes, sir.
Yeah, I given
My
some symptoms
chatbot it only
which is
based
not
it yeah
related
like
to your symptoms. Then what it will be gives the result.
my chatbot has the limitation. The limitation is only for maternal and infant mortality. It's only women, pregnant women. So other than that, the outcome cannot come.
So
It's
what the
only
result will
based
come?
to
Is
maternal health
out of
care.
that pregnant symptoms, what the chatbot will give the result.
So since I am the one, like I'm training the chatbot only to give the outcome based on the symptoms I gave, so it won't show any outcomes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, madam. You can leave, madam. Next,
Okay, thank
Brahmaji,
you.
sir. 193.
Sir, good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Okay, sir. You can connect, sir.
Okay, sir.
What happened, sir?
Sir, 1 minute, sir. 1 minute.
Okay, okay.
One minute, sir. Sir, is my screen is visible, sir?
It's visible, sir. Go to full screen mode, sir. Press F5.
Now is it clear, sir?
Yeah, clear, sir. Continue.
Okay, sir. Sir, good evening, sir. For the delegates, myself, Mr. Brahmaji Godi, sir. I am working as an associate professor in Raghu Engineering College, and another professor, author to Mr. Krishna Garu, is assistant professor from Anish Engineering College, and another supporting person, Mr. BJM Ravi Kumar Garu, assistant professor in CSE department, and my fellow student, Mr. Bharadwaj, is also one of my student fellow who supported in my research work. and my title is Healthcare Monitoring System Using Artificial Intelligence for Diabetic Skin Diseases. So nowadays, the diabetic skin diseases is very much playing a vital role, sir, as of my current research. So many of the uh, clinicians, like dermatologists, are unable to identify what type of disease it is. So they are little bit in a suspicion and not clear in a clearly in supposed to tell for a diabetic patient. So there is some little bit misunderstanding about various types of skin diseases. So mostly the patients are reaching to the doctors and they are explaining their skin problems, and the doctor is training the systems, and but even then they are unable to cure within the time. Why? Because the only reason is the patient is having diabetic. So in such cases, even the doctor is good, even his medicines is good, but the proper diagnosis is lacking in proper diagnosis systems. So as of our research, the presently what we have identified, that is diabetic skin diseases. So this research work is somewhat novel, sir, and one of the professor in 2018 this work was done, and after that we have taken as a little bit advanced stage in taking some more diseases into the considerations with some deeper knowledge, sir. So here we are going to explain you, sir. We named it as a healthcare monitoring system for the diabetic skin disease. This is about the abstract, sir. In this abstract, we achieved the accuracy of 96.7% and specificity 96.3, and sensitivity of 92.3. In that manner, we followed the hidden diabetic skin diseases. And next to the introduction, as I told you, here we have identified 9 types of skin diseases, sir, which are mainly affecting the diabetic patients, especially like Neisseria and anthomysic diabetic blisters, and diabetic micronucleus, lipotoids, distal paralysis, diabetic dermoscopics, and some others, sir. Sir, which are into the considerations, we consider the 9 types of diseases here, sir, as for the research. And I'm just showing you, sir, what are these types of diseases, and I prepared as a research survey, like there are different types of, you know that, sir, there are type 1, type 2 diseases and non-diabetic diseases also there. So which either it may fall into type 2 diabetics, or it may fall into type 1 and type 2 combinations. So if you see this in the 3 diabetic blisters, it will be having a different size, shape, lesion, color, texture, and type of symptoms, and the area especially which affects. It is a very important point, sir. Why I am focusing this is affecting of the disease on a human body. So till now, many of the people has not worked in this particular area, sir. Why? Because they are not concentrating on the they are concentrating on size, shape, and color and texture. It is a general way of approach, but in my perspective, that what we have considered for the doctors in which is supported for the doctors is, so they can suspect the symptom of lesion along with this the affective area of the human body. If mostly if diabetic blisters are coming on the fingers, hands, and toes, here I specifically written where this disease is going to be affected, especially leg or fingers or toes or arms, and mostly the combination of either it is type 1 or type 2. This is how we have classified, and we did some analysis on these 9 types of different diabetic skin diseases, sir. These are the in the last column where we have written picturized some of the lesions which we have found from various depot repositories, like from Kaggle. We have collected some images, and other diabetic clinical research we have collected that various. It is not from one particular place, sir. We have collected these images from various repositories. These are the diabetic cirrhosis, and dermopathy, and angelia, and vitolega, and these are the 9 types of diseases which are affected mostly by the by diabetic patients. And especially Our concept is we proposed one model that is HCMS, which is related to healthcare monitoring systems, which is used camera based image, sir. So this is also one of our important points, sir, camera based image. Till now, our model, so nowadays we are all using the Android mobile applications, so in such a way that we can take an image from our human body and we can post to the doctor. So the doctor can dermoscope can understand that image by the screening system. Our proposed architecture is to take some input and we do some process. We are going to submit this process to the deep neural networks with multi-labeling, as I specified that 9 different tasks, and it will compare with the existing 9 different labels, and finally we are going to get an output with logical regression, like by taking whether this disease belongs to diabetic or not. So there may be different types of skin diseases other than this. More than 30 plus skin diseases are there, very familiar. So on behalf of that, these 9 types of diseases are especially for the type 1 and type 2 diabetic diseases, which were best for identifying by using multitasking learning, using deep neural networks, which can be synthesized, whether this is a type 1 disease or type 2 disease, whether this is a skin disease or it is a normal disease. That is our major focus, sir, input and output. And the next step here, sir, before going into the next step, we have done some dermoscopic analysis based on the camera based images by size, shape and color detection. So what as I specified earlier, so here we do some pre-processing, sir. So pre-processing is also done in 3 levels, sir. So we are not done by a single pre-processing. We have collected the adaptive EHE model, gamma and correlations, and Clay model, sir, contrast limited adaptive histogram equalizations. So one input is after pre-processing EHE, it will send to gamma and gamma to the Clay. So in such a way, we try to synthesize the camera based image such that we can filter the image very clearly and we can get a clear cut projection. So that is the only reason we have done this three step pre-processing method, sir. That is the reason, sir. And the next one, that is here, as I told you, it's a multitasking. Here IP is IP1 and IP2, and we are taking the inputs up to 1 to 9, and every input is going to be trained within the hidden layers. We have taken into the three different types of hidden layers into the
Brahmaji sir,
consideration. Sir,
take 1 minute more time to
okay,
finish.
sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. And finally we applied softmax, and finally we get an output, whether it is in an output we are clearly specifying, sir, whether it is a positive or negative. Positive indicates that it is a diabetic skin disease. Negative, it is not a diabetic skin disease. This is about our model of MLT, sir. And coming to the MLT, some benefits that how we have classified the softmax and MLT learning in this categorizations using CNN, sir. It is a best knowledgeable method to forecast the all going problems, sir. So experimental results, sir, finally we have we got only 3 types of data sets, sir, as we have verified, but we got only 3 types. One is Willis disease, angina photos, and synthesized diseases, sir. So we have considered out of 9 diseases. Initially we worked on 3 models, sir, and the training model we have given 80% and testing model 20%, and ratio is 80:20. So nearly we have experimental near about 1000 data images, which we found 900 diabetic skin diseases, sir, and compared to 100 images or other types of diseases. And we got the result like this, sir. So this is the 3 main diseases where we focused on the diabetic diseases, sir, the accuracy and specificity, and we have succeeded, sir. That is our work, sir. And the conclusion that we are going to give is, now it is a challenging work, sir, and mostly working on diabetic skin diseases, we have to do one good task, means that we have to approach some diabetic person doctor, and we have to collect the remaining other 6 diseases images mostly, such that we can improve our system and more accurately, and it will be useful for the doctors diagnosis, which it also provides high quality, sir. And the future scope is that what I am going to tell is about the AI deep learning improves, and which can we got a large scale of database that helps us to get a good accurate system, sir. That is my suggestions, supported work for the existing medical, sir, through AI. And this is the references which we have worked on this, sir. Um, thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. So, what exactly your contribution in this work? Actually, the disease data set is available, convolutional neural network is available. What exactly your contribution in this proposed work?
Sir, exactly, sir. We have chosen the new data set, sir. So the bullous diseases, enzymia, photos, and synthesized data sets. The only we have concentrated only
Okay,
on.
is this data set is created by you?
No, sir. It is available in the
Ah,
category.
it's taken
It
from
is.
somewhere now. Okay, it's
Yes,
available.
it is available, sir. But
Okay.
we have chosen only this particular bull test diseases.
Okay, that's not a issue. Okay, you selected the existing data set only. And next.
Yes. And we have to work on the remaining other 6 types of diseases, sir, which was not found even in any repository.
No, I am asking, what is your contribution here? Data set is available, convolutional
Yes.
neural network is available. You can give this data to network and it predicts something. What is your contribution? Any other work you did?
Sir, as I told you from the beginning, sir, that is what we have founded, that how where it is affecting, sir. Especially my concept is which is supported for the doctors in the screening system is, if
Okay,
these
you
types of
are
diseases are yes,
okay, these are all available. Okay, not a problem. This
yes,
data set is available. I'm asking in implementation point of view, what is your contribution here?
sir. Implementation point of this work. So
Yeah.
this is the training and testing, sir. We have already.
Okay, this is okay. I'm asking any new method, new invention is there in your work?
Yes, sir. The new work is MLT, sir. MLT, multitasking model, which earlier I told you in 2018 paper, they have done only with CNN, sir.
Okay,
Uh,
in
uh,
multitasking only, what you did? No,
so
current tech, so many technology, so many convolutional neural networks are applied for multitasking only, multi-labeled tasks only.
yes, sir. Yes.
Can be applied.
Yes.
So some extra we are expecting. Okay. Sir, Srinivas.
Brahmaji garu.
Sir.
Yeah, how do you differentiate the diabetic image and the normal image disease
Diabetic.
in your work? The
Sir,
same image will be there with the normal skin diseases. And the
okay.
same image looks like a diabetic image also.
Okay.
How do you find that it is a diabetic image or it is a normal skin disease?
So, sir, exactly, sir. So, our screening system wants to synthesize this thing only, sir. We have to classify whether this image is a diabetic image or non-diabetic image. That is our research, sir. That currently we are working on, and still we are going to improvise. That is the reason we are going to train well. We need some more data sets in order to train the model efficiently, whether to classify whether it is a diabetic skin disease or not non-diabetic skin disease, sir.
Okay, what are the type 1 and type 2? Yes? What will
So
come under the type 1 and what will come under the type 2?
So type 1, it is a hereditary diseases, or sometimes in type 2 due to abnormal conditions of the human, like diet and all these things, environmental conditions or working areas which affects on the, or age factors sometimes leads to that. So in that manner, it can classify, sir.
Okay. So why you consider the only low data set? Why don't you go with the high?
Oh, sir. Sir, actually, we searched some of the data sets, but as per our research findings, we found we have taken only one particular type of diseases, sir. First of all, it's an initial step. We want to project and we want to further go into the investigation in the remaining next diseases, and we have to contact with some medical screening system such that we can get real-time data sets, which is more supportive to our work to improvise in for the better screening system. Till now, this is a uh, ongoing work, sir. Ongoing work.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir, you can leave.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Next,
Thank you.
paper ID 195. Paper ID 195. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Connect, ma'am.
Good evening to all intellectual present here. This is Dibya Gulab Minj from Kalinga University.
Just connect your PPT, ma'am.
Yes, sir, connected.
Yeah.
Network problem is there.
Just enlarge that.
Make it in a presentation mode, madam.
Once again, good evening to all intellectual present here. This is Dibya Gulab Minj from Kalinga University. My title is Smarandakle Product Coded Labeling of Rooted Product Graph. The abstract is, in this paper, the researchers study and work on the labeling of rooted product graph by admitting the certain condition of Smarandakle product coded labeling. Smarandakle product coded labeling on G is for taken for the graph, is such a labeling F such that V of G tends to 0, 1 with induced labeling F of U, F of V on edge UV which belongs to E of G, that mod of V of 0 minus V of 1 which is greater than equal to 2, and for edge mod of E of 0 minus E of 1 which is greater than equal to 2. The keyword is coded labeling, Smarandakle product coded labeling, rooted product graph. Introduction. Network and data transmission can be mathematically represented by the graph. Graphs have an important application in modern communications network. Here, vertices in graph represents terminals, processors and edges represent transmission through which data moves. Data flows from input terminal through a sequence of vertices joined by directed and connected edges to an output terminal. A graph labeling is an assignment of integers to the vertices or edges or both, subject to certain conditions. Labeling helps to distinguish between any two adjacent vertices or edges.
graph labeling was first introduced in the year 1967 by Rosa. Rosa defined a function as f so that v of g tends to 0, 1, 2, 3. These are the integers, where f is an injection such that when each edge xy is
Screens are
assigned
the
label
screens
mod
are.
of.
Hello, madam.
Yes, sir.
Your content is not moving, madam. Only first screen is showing.
Okay, sir. Okay. Is it visible, sir? Hello?
Yeah, proceed, madam. Yeah, proceed.
Okay, okay. So now the research is it visible, sir? Now the researchers is going to work on a graph which is known as a rooted product graph, and graphs can be used to model interconnection networks in which vertices correspond to processors of the network and the edges correspond to communication links. So a new interconnection network topology, which is called the rooted product graph, has been introduced, which satisfies the condition of Smarandakle product coded labeling on G. Is such a labeling f where v of g tends to 0, 1 with induced labeling f of u, f of v on edge uv which belongs to e of g, and that satisfies the condition of Smarandakle that already I have mentioned. So the objective of my paper is to label rooted product graph that fulfills the condition of Smarandakle product labeling. The review literature I have taken from Chiralal introduced the property luckily number for certain rooted product graphs, and Abel Cabrera Martins and John A. Roderick Veljavuch invested on total domination in rooted product graphs. P.V. Durgavati, Kontragunta, and Rama Krishnan Nair proved working on the upper total signed undomination number of a rooted product graph of a path with a star. Rashmi S.B. and Indrani Pramod Kelkar investigated the K-rooted product of two graphs. From the above review of related literature, it is observed that on rooted product graph, much work is done, but labeling has not been done so far. Therefore, the researcher has attempted to make a study and presents a paper titled Smarandakle Product Coded Labeling of Rooted Product Graph. So here the definition of rooted product graph. The rooted product graph of a graph is a graph, and a rooted graph H is defined as follows. We take mod of V of G copies of H, and for every vertex Vi, where small I is taken for the integer of G, identify Vi with the root node of the ith copy of H. So more formally, assuming that V of G is equal to small g1, g2 up to gm, and where V of H is equal to h1, h2 up to hm, and that the root mod of H is h1 defined as G composition H, that is equal to V comma E, where V is for the vertex and E for the edge. Now just I will explain one theorem which satisfies the condition of Smarandakle product coded labeling. The M into N dimensional rooted product graph PM a composition Pn admits Smarandakle product coded labeling where Mn is greater than equal to 3. To prove this, we will see the for condition where Mn both are even. The first, for this condition, we label all the vertices of all odd rows with 1, 1, and vertices of all the even rows are labeled as 0, 1, 0, 1 respectively. Here we can see that. And the number of V1, that means the number of all total vertices are 12 and V0 is equal to 4. And we put all these values in the Smarandakle product labeling formula, and it satisfies the condition of it. That means the result we are getting 8, which is greater than equal to 2. And similarly, we prove for the edge. And then the second graph I have taken for P4 composition P6, and then we can continue that P4 composition P8, P4, P10, P4, P12, and all the result we see that is greater than equal to 2. And the second case when M is even and N is odd, and in this case also we label all the vertices of the odd rows with 1, 0, 1, 0 respectively, and all the even rows with 1, 1. And the result similarly satisfies the condition of Smarandakle. And the third condition when M is odd and N is even, and here we label all the vertices of the odd rows with 0, 1, 0, 1 respectively, and the even rows with 1, 1 respectively. And the result here we see it satisfies the condition of Smarandakle product coded labeling. And the fourth condition case is when Mn both are odd. Here the odd rows are labeled with 1, 1 alternatively, and all the vertices of even rows are labeled with 1, 0, 1, 0. And here also the result we see that it satisfies the condition of Smarandakle product coded labeling. The result table shows for the 4 condition, we see that for the vertex when we see the result comes all the numbers are even and which are greater than equal to 2. And for the edges, the result comes the outcome odd numbers and which are greater than equal to 2. Similarly, for the second case when M is odd and N is even, for the vertex, the result comes after satisfying the condition of Smarandakle even number and which is greater than equal to 2. Similarly, for the edges. And for the third case, we see that for the vertex, the result is even number which is greater than equal to 2. And similarly, for the edges, the result is odd number which are greater than equal to 2. And the fourth case,
Madam, finish it in 2 minutes, madam.
Okay, sir. The fourth case when Mn both are odd, we see the result for the vertex comes the odd number and which are greater than equal to 2, and for the edges, even number and which is
not moving, madam.
And the conclusion is here the researcher labels the rooted product graph which satisfies the Smarandakle product coded labeling, and that is the labeling where f is the function and vg which tends to 0, 1 with induced labeling f of u, f of p on h uv which belongs to e of g, and that satisfies the same condition. So a lot of work has been accomplished in this area and still work is being carried out for this graph. And I have referred these articles. Thank you.
So where this your work is used, madam? Where it is useful?
This communication network, sir.
Okay.
Here the vertex are taken for the terminals or for the processors, and edges for the transmission or for the data flow.
So how you implemented this?
Pardon, sir?
Yeah. What is the way for implementing your work?
Sir, this work I am doing by labeling the different graphs where we can find out the connection and direction of different graphs, and which will help us to find out the connectivity at a time with one connection, how many data can be flowed.
Did you use any software like I'm asking? How can you do it like it? Yeah.
For this, I am working in the Flash software, sir. Flash.
Okay. At what time you observed all these things like these graph-related information?
Yes, sir.
Did you take any real-time situation or any simulation type of thing like?
That work is going on, sir.
Okay, just you are explaining in this paper just your feature idea.
Yeah, yes, sir. I have been working in this, like I have already worked in different graphs. Almost 7-8 graphs I have almost completed. And this is my
Okay.
9th graph in which I have worked, sir.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
Thank you,
And
sir.
what are the different graphs you work with, madam?
Sir, it is not clear. Can you repeat?
Yeah, you told that you worked on the different graphs, no? Can you name it the
I have,
graph?
sir, I have already worked in the Bloom graph, Bloom torus graph, and then this is product rooted graph. Then triangular mesh I have already worked. Then corona graph I have already worked.
Have you implemented any one of the algorithm yet, or you used only the simulation?
Pardon, sir. Implemented in.
Have you implemented any one of the algorithm?
The second word is not clear, sir. Some network issue.
Already, yeah. All are the already existed one, or you implemented any new one, new algorithm?
Work is going on, sir.
Yeah, what is the final results, madam, for this paper?
Final result, this since it is satisfying the condition of Ismar and Dakle, here the result we find that all the final outcome is greater than or equal to 2. And since I have not
Present the
presented
first
here
result.
the table when we see the difference between the edges and vertex and their sequence, we find the result is same. And through that we can find out, since here I have not presented a table, so may not be, this will be like abstract, but still I am just speaking that like if it final result
Please
is.
show me the present the result, madam. Present me the result. Final result.
This is my result table, sir, for the 4 cases, for this theorem.
Okay, madam.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
You can leave, madam.
Yes.
Next, 255 paper ID.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, madam. You can connect, madam.
1 minute. Sir, is it visible, sir?
Yes, madam. Proceed.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, audible. Proceed.
Yes, sir.
Go to presentation mode, madam.
Yes, sir. Now is it clear, sir?
Yeah, now.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone. Myself, Suma. First of all, I congratulate to the whole team for the conference for successful conduct for the inauguration. So today I'm going to give a presentation on congestion control and avoidance scheme using mobile nodes in wireless sensor network. So this is the flow of the presentation. That is, first is introduction, problem statement. Next comes the proposed scheme, result and discussion, conclusion, reference. So here, as we see, the progress in the wireless communication has reached very high level. So such high level communication, the data flow in such communication is very unbalanced due to the random destination delivery. So the routing becomes one of the major issue and challenging issue for such a traffic condition. So here in wireless sensor network, due to this there is a resource limitation and even the dynamic due to the dynamic routing. So the problem of congestion control in the sensor network remains largely open when sensor receives more data than the forward that is redundant data that has been buffered. Thus, the congestion occurs because the limited buffer space becomes full and the extra data will be dropped. By this, the wastage of energy, by this, it leads to the wastage of energy, and the sensor nodes also hampers the event detection reliability because of packet loss. Hence, this becomes the mandatory to address the congestion in the sensor field to prolong the network lifetime and also to maintain the quality of service in the wireless sensor network application. So even the capacity also can be increased where the congestion can be enhanced by utilizing the mobile nodes. So mainly the problem statement is to study the congestion wireless sensor to identify the cause and symptoms related to the philosophy and design of wireless sensor network. The main objective is to maintain the examine the behavior of the networks based on the several parameters and their impact on the congestion in wireless sensor network. So this addresses the framework for congestion control and avoidance that different from the existing traditional schemes that are based on the rate control to evaluate congestion and the issues such as energy consumption and fairness problems and their relation to the congestion also examined. So proposed scheme here, since we use here mobile, using the mobile nodes, we reduce the congestion, and it also attempts forced the using the sync nodes for the data collection for avoiding the congestion. And this scheme, that is mobile congestion control algorithm, has two iterations. The first iterations comes the moving the nodes are you moving. First iteration is movable nodes are used to construct detours to sync that are significantly local. The second iteration makes use of the mobile nodes that construct distinct, that is disjoint path, that is an alternate path towards the sync. A small number of static nodes and small number of mobile nodes are deployed in the environment whenever the event is detected. Thus, the source node is connected to the network and the node is notified, and it will be notified until it is been notified until it and until it is been reallocated. So here the mechanism consists of two distinct control schemes, which as follows. First is placement of nodes, that is it calculates the random positions. Once the position is been identified, the traffic load from those nodes which are transmitted the information of the congested nodes. Next is detection of the congested node. Here the first detect the congested node. Later on there are by using the existing system. Once we detect the congested nodes based on the information of the previous node location, the position is being detected and the source node communicates in such a way that the congestion control handles the scheme handles the congestion. So here the diagram depicts the dynamic and direct mobile congestion control. So that is dynamic mobile congestion control. Here we can see that in dynamic node 1, there are totally six nodes, and here from source to the destination, here in the dynamic mobile, this is within the range. Node 1 is within the range. After sensing here, the source node is out of the range. So once the node is been detected with the previous location, it will be reallocated. Whereas you can see here in the directed mobile nodes, once the node has been detected, the two nodes are being replaced. That is dynamic nodes are being replaced. That is node one dynamic node is being replaced at this position, and here another dynamic node is being placed here at this position. So based on this, by placing the dynamic node in the static node in an environment, here the communication becomes easy from source to the destination. So next comes the additional resource. Here the equation represents the additional resource. So the additional resource has been calculated based on the congested node received on the average per unit. So here add k represents the additional node resource rate, and k is to the kth node, and node at received. Next is T represents the current time, and T1 represents denotes the transmitting packets. Next, we identify the location of for a mobile nodes. So whenever the transmission halts towards the node congested, then the congestion is revealed. The movement of the mobile nodes is evaluated at single point. If such node exists, if more than one node is found, then this solution is being applied. Next comes the direct node placement. So in addition to the dynamic mobile congestion control, direct mobile congestion control is another variant of dynamic mobile congestion control. So this scheme is alternative disjoint route for those mobile nodes for the source node. The operation depends upon these functions. First, it determines the position of the first mobile nodes in the network by using direct dynamic mobile congestion control. Second, suppose if the source node is positioned within the range, then the data is being transmitted directly with the method is being dropped. When several nodes are required to generate a disjoint route to the source node, then the scheme evaluates the location of the next node to those considered which is within the range. Then further, the appropriate behavior of this node is being evaluated by some point, and that is within the range when it is being positioned. Thus, from source to the destination, the route is being established. So these are the parameters which are being used. So the first graph is represents the average packet. So here x-axis represents the data rate transmission, which is calculated packet per second, and the y-axis represents the average packet delivery ratio. It is in the terms of percentage. So here the graph is being plotted from with directed mobile congestion control towards the dynamic mobile congestion control. So whenever the event is occurred, due to the congestion, the proposed that is dynamic direct mobile congestion control have more packet delivery ratio than the dynamic mobile congestion control. This is because it uses an alternative path whenever the traffic load whenever the traffic load exists. So here we can see that direct mobile congestion has more packet delivery ratio, as and when the data rate increases, it is approximately around 60%, even though the rate of the data rate transmission increases, whereas dynamic mobile congestion control falls as the data rate increases, it is around 40%. So the next graph depicts the average delay. Here, the y-axis shows the delay ratio, which is in terms of seconds. So here, the dynamic mobile congestion controllers uses an average amount of time required from the destination to the source when it is compared with the direct mobile congestion control. This is due to the alternative generated for the disjoint route within the transmission range, which is based on the previous mobile node information. Thus, direct mobile congestion has a fewer hops compared with the dynamic mobile congestion control. Therefore, it has less delay than compared to the direct mobile congestion control. So the next graph represents the energy consumed. Here, the total energy consumed in the dynamic mobile congestion is more than as it is uses alternative path, and whenever there is a reallocating of the node position, so at that time also it consumes more energy. So therefore, dynamic mobile congestion has consumes more energy compared to the direct mobile congestion control. So here, direct mobile congestion has usually considers additional resources which are not taken in the which uses the residual energy which those nodes are being selected. So therefore, we can see that the energy consumed with the dynamic mobile congestion has more compared to the direct mobile congestion control. Next conclusion, since the wireless sensor networks for adaptive congestion, we are using mobile nodes in order to enhance the network congestion control. So the proposed schemes were a placement of more dynamic nodes, which revolves the issues of the location, and direct mobile congestion control, which generates an alternative path from source to the destination. Therefore, the difference between the simulated congestion is revealed by both difference in the random topology. During the extended periods of congestion, the solution will be extended to account for the mobile reusable and through the examination of the cost energy at its scheme. These are the references. Thank you.
Okay, madam, you mentioned some results. How you obtain those results?
Sir, one with the existing I have compared, sir. Basically, in the congestion, we see many existing system is mainly focused on static nodes, sir. So whenever there is a congestion, here the idea is we use either a sync node as a mobile node, and which it requests for the data and collects the information. By that, the congestion also can be reduced, sir. So this is the one, the idea is being adapted over here, sir.
Where you implemented all these environment?
In NS2, sir.
NS2 tool, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. At what conditions you executed this?
Whenever at the time of whenever the congestion occur, if there is no congestion, if the nodes are within the range, then obviously the network goes smooth, sir. So whenever the congestion occurs, at that time scenario I have considered, sir.
Okay, how you created congestion situation?
As I have increased the speed, data rate speed, sir. Then I have examined based on the data rate, how the data rate is increased. Based on that, what will be the effect based on the proposed system I have checked, analyzed, sir.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Srinivas, sir? Okay, madam. You can leave, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving this opportunity. Thank you, sir. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you.
Thank you, one and all. Thank you, sir.
Okay, today's batches are completed. Nagalakshmi, madam, are you interested to give? Okay. Okay, sir. Today's batches actually two are will give tomorrow. 2 batches will give tomorrow.
Can I know that?
It's 178 and 73.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. I'm closing the sessions. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Okay, Sunil?
Right, sir.
Okay, 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 sir. Very good.
Right, sir. Jagrata.
Right.